Hey everybody, this is Grace. On my way home, I stopped at a racetrack convenience store. Got me a sausage dog. It's a jalapeno sausage dog. Oh, and tomorrow, I did it today because tomorrow is my birthday. Today I'm 61. This is 61. It has been the longest year, it feels like. Yeah, so tomorrow I turn 62 and my driver's license is expired. Yeah, I had so much going on, between my health and I don't know if it's changed where you live, but here in Texas now, I don't know what it was like when it started or any of that, but you have to make an appointment to go in to get your driver's license renewed. And I had so much going on at the time. My appointment is until a month from now. A month and 2 days. So it's gonna be expired. I looked it up. It took forever because there's nobody you can just call and ask about this kind of thing, and I don't usually trust anything that I just see on the internet that isn't quoted from the source, and I couldn't find anything on this. Finally, I just saw something. I still don't know for certain, but and there's more to all that. I'm trying to get the information and all this, but basically, yeah, it's expired, and even though you have up to 2 years to renew it, it's still expired. And they can, if I get pulled over, so the police can actually, as what I said, it's not exactly from the source, but they can fine me, and they can also put me in jail for driving with a license that has expired. Yeah. Okie dokie. This is Texas. It is the law. Someone know what I'm talking about, maybe? If anybody watches this at all, yeah, it is the law. There was something in a online, I don't know how long ago, a year or two, I don't know, but I said back then, I read it and it was something about, speed limits and everything. Speed limits, so many people think that they're just suggestions, and I looked it up. I mean, I knew it wasn't suggestion. I knew that it was the law. And the title to it was, it is, and it had a period, the law, period. Though I could actually hear is some Texas guy wearing a cowboy hat, how he's dressed and everything, standing there going, it is the law. Okay, maybe it's just a me thing. But anyway, so I'm not one who's going to chance this, because I did call her and I asked, and they even called a police department, not this one, but another one, and the non-emergency number, and asked, and the woman said, I can't tell you that you can drive without it. She said, but you could, if something happened, you could tell them that the situation like that, and they might not ticket you. And another one, I don't know if it's city or county where it was, said the same thing. So, but that's not, yeah, they were saying, each one of them said, I can't tell you that. I wasn't asking her to, so she was pointing it out. They might not do anything. Each one of them kept stressing that. So, I had stressed that. So I'm not willing to break the law. Just not. I can wait a month and 2 days. But I really do wonder, how is this going to affect what I do and what I don't do? Seriously. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, I kind of feel like I'm in mourning, because today is the day that, there you go, mister. today is the day that I found this all out, and I finally just decided to call, because like I said, and ask them, and search for something else in a different way. And anyway, I feel like I'm in mourning because I have MOURNING, but I do feel like that because I have been driving for, I don't know exactly what day I started and exactly what month and exactly, I can tell you the year. And because back then we could be 15 and get our driver's permit, I think. I'm fairly certain. I know I was 15 when I started driving, under a learner's permit. Hey, I was talking about you, not me. I was in my lane. But you saw that, didn't you? Anyway, so it's 47 years. 47 years. Sometime this year it will be 47 years. Yeah, well, I think actually, how did it work back then? I think we got it. I don't know. That was 47 years ago. So you think I remember? Speaking of which, somebody who is, it was a specialist that I had waited 5 months to see. He basically had asked me about, I had been in the hospital. The one time I was ever admitted until last year, actually. The one time I was in for pancreatitis, and it was the year 2000. That's 25 years ago. 25, not 25 months ago, 25 years ago. And this guy's probably all about 30 years old. He asked me about a detail to it. And I said, well, that was 25 years ago. I said it in a nice way. That didn't sound so nice, but I said it in a nice way. That was 25 years ago. Like I said, he's probably all of like 30, 35 of the max. He had to be like 30. And, okay, you cannot go. What, you missing this car next to me, they keep going up like they're gonna go. And you see the light's red, right? The turning light. Anyway, so he asked me something from 25 years ago. Like, now they're honking at that car because the car's not going. But yeah, I'm gonna remember a detail. Okay? Seriously. Where's the disconnect there from people to seeing reality? You're gonna remember a detail 25 years ago? Shoot, I don't remember details from this morning. Seriously, I'm not making fun of anybody that has some serious kind of, I don't have any serious kind of memory problems. I'm 61 today, 62 tomorrow, and that's not even it. Some people, they don't have any problem, but I'm also on a pill that it's for blood pressure that makes me so tired all the time, and yeah, I think that it contributes to remember something, a detail that happened 25 years ago. Come on now, really? Seriously. Okay, while I'm on this topic, about the young doctor, that is one of them. I did say that I'm much better, right? My health conditions are much better. There's so much more to that. Basically finding out that, yeah, just what I kind of expected, suspected, God, was, yeah, the one doctor was just trying to make some money, and Adam called him on the carpet, basically, and he was right. I knew he was right, but he didn't do it intentionally in a way, but the result was the same. But yeah, let's make a little money off $35,000 off of this woman. I mean, I wasn't paying. I have insurance that pays like so much of everything. They really are great. But anyway, That's another video. But that doctor, the one Adam kind of accidentally called on the carpet, he looks like, and I think anybody watching my video may be around my age and probably remember Doogie Howser. Remember the show Doogie Howser? Wasn't that the name of the show? I think so. That was how many years ago? How much life have I lived since then? But yeah, you remember how young he looked. Still does. Okay, but this doctor, the second one mentioned, he looks like Doogie Howser. When he first walked into the office, the first time I met him, I've seen him 4 times now. Yeah, 4. And just this year, okay, that fast. And or is it 3 times? I think it's 3 times. No, 4 times. 4 times. Oh, and now you say, well, it's just this year. Do you know how much I've done this year? No, anyway, because one of them was on the phone. That's why. But and then there was another one this last one I wasn't supposed to have until August, and I just went ahead and went. Is this? Okay. Couldn't tell if that was I really don't know him, but one of the neighbors is very nosy neighbor. Very, very nosy neighbor. Neighbors. But anyway, couldn't tell if it was them or not. But, okay, where was I? The Doogie Howser. That's what that guy looks like. He looks like Doogie Howser. Seriously. First time I met him, I thought he was like an MA. Really. I did not think that he was the specialist. Not the one I just met after 5 months. This other one. And Adam said the same thing. And it's not that the look, that should not make a difference, age and all that, except when they act immature. Very immature. Okay, that's not professional. And his nurse practitioner, works with him, the nurse, she had sent me, they have a portal and they send messages and all this stuff. She sent me one that made absolutely no sense, because I don't think this is what you call a run-on sentence. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. How long ago? but there were no, it was actually should have been 3 to 4 sentences. And there were no, but she had nothing capitalized, no punctuation marks. It just went on and on, except close to the end of it, in the middle of what would have been the last sentence, if I could have figured out when one begins and one ends, totally was not clear, because she just really didn't know grammar, apparently, and all of that. Well, she apparently hit the period, and in the middle of a sentence, so that the new sentence started, I think, like I said, in the middle of it. Okay, this is not professionalism. This is not what you expect from a doctor's office. I mean, a specialist's office. Seriously. Okay, and he throws temper tantrums. And so this last time I had Adam go with me, and I never do this. I never suggest to Adam how to think about something or to watch for something, but I mean, I say never. I may have once or twice in 40-something years I've known him. And I suggested he pay attention to this. And he saw it, too. Like I said, he accidentally called this guy on the carpet. And it was... And then Adam, when I told him, I said, you do realize what you did? And what he said, yeah. He said, yeah. It was... Basically, the guy was trying to con me into having an expensive exploratory procedure that did not need to be done, as it turns out. Now, I don't want to say too much on that, because, even though I don't believe in tempting fate, I still don't want to tempt fate. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, that you tempt fate. But, anyway. So I have been all over the place in this video, kind of, sort of. But anyway, tomorrow, like I said, I'm not going to be driving. And so let's go back to this part. I told Adam, I said it's so not us that I said, I wasn't even thinking if he couldn't take me somewhere, what was I going to do? Because it's so not like us to go Uber. He's done the Uber thing, Uber ride share thing. I have not. So I haven't taken an Uber anywhere, or a Lyft, or whatever else they have. And so maybe I will. I told him, I said, I wonder how this is going to change things. How I am, because I'm usually the person who drives. No matter who's there in our household, I'm the person who drives. Adam is a leadfoot. Adam's older. He's a leadfoot, and I've always suspected that he's a little bit ADHD for over 40 years. A little bit, but I don't diagnose, so I could be wrong all around, but he does make me think that. And I told he even laughs because he knows I've always been afraid to be in a car with him when he's driving, because seriously, leadfoot, and he has more squirrel moments than I do. I have squirrel moments quite literally when I'm literally, not quite, but literally when I'm sitting here. There's always a lot of squirrels, and in our neighborhood there's a lot of squirrels. Today we were coming down this road, it was this road, and no, it was another one, whatever road, and there was a little baby squirrel, and I was waiting for it to cross the road. It was just a little baby, so cute, baby squirrel, and there was a Bubba truck coming down the road in the other direction, and they were going to hit it, and I did my hands up like, what are you doing? You idiot. And the guy got up close to mine and started putting his hand out and doing all this, and I did him right back at him. I told Adam, I said, I wouldn't mess with me. I am kind of like not afraid. Never have really been, seriously. And that's cray. You gotta be afraid of some of these people. That's a bit crazy not to be afraid of other people, but really, you're gonna hit a baby squirrel just so you didn't have to wait a few seconds for the baby squirrel to get across the road? How cruel. What is that called? Endangerment to animals or something? Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that, stuff like that. Somebody ever seen anybody do like that? Take a picture of their driver's license. Not their driver's license, boy, it's on my mind. But their license plate and their vehicle, and call? I guess. Yeah. But that's just cruel. I'm gonna hit a baby squirrel because I don't want to. They're gonna hit a baby squirrel because they don't want to wait 5 seconds for the baby squirrel to get across the road. Oh, so disgusting. It's just so disgusting. Really, seriously. Okay, what else am I gonna talk about in this video? Yeah, but I'm gonna be home, so I'm not gonna be driving around making videos. I'm gonna be home. I'm probably gonna do them in my like I told Adam, for a month and 2 days. My my road is going to be our driveway. Just back up and forth, because seriously, I feel like I'm in mourning over this. I've been free to go wherever I please, pretty much, for 47 years. 47 years. Do you know what it's like to all of a sudden not have that luxury, that freedom? It is. But in a way, I need it. I need a break from driving. Because like I sit here and people zoom by, or whether I sit over there on the other side of the park, people zoom by. There was somebody the other day, probably both of them were in their 50s. One woman was driving, the man sitting next to her, and they flew by me. It's in front of a park. You see the speed limit, okay? Flew by me, almost. I really thought they were going to take off my side view mirror, seriously. And then they got around this whole big old block so quickly that I was in shock that they almost did it again. You know, what's wrong with people? People who do that. And today somebody was tailgating me, and she got on the other side of me and got into the turning lane. I told Adam, I said, I want to see who this is. You know, see what they look like, because I like to do this. A lot of people tailgate here because they own the road, they think. And when I look up at them, you know, they get so close at the light, and we're stopped, and I look up at them, and in my rearview mirror, they look like they're on another planet. Are they there? Or they're off dreaming or texting somebody in their mind or what? But this one I looked and look at this. I'm serious. Okay, there was some, I guess, maybe they were real young. Look, you know, probably like 20. Let's say that, 20, 21. And she was driving, and her, I guess, husband or boyfriend or whatever, brother maybe, he was kind of looking at me. And I looked over there at her, and she had in her hands, both hands, a plate lunch, you know, the plastic styrofoam kind of stuff, white styrofoam. And she was holding that on the steering wheel, helping her to hold it. And she was dipping whatever she was eating into whatever was in a cup while she was driving. Okay, and she was tailgating me? She was tailgating me. With all that going on, does she need to have her driver's license removed for a different reason? Not that it expired. She doesn't need to be on the road. Because how was she going to do this? You know, if I had to stop all of a sudden, she would have crashed right into me. And she was too busy dipping her food. And so I looked over there and I had my hand up. I did on purpose. No, I didn't show her one finger, any finger in particular. But I was talking to Adam, and I had my hand up. And I looked over there, and the guy looked at me, and she looked at me like she was going to say something to me. I just did a, you know, my mom used to do that. My mom was always a really sweet person, by the way. She had this little curve to her when she was really mad, and curve to her hand. Man, and yeah, you knew what that meant. So I basically waved the woman off, and she acted like, you know, she's this little, like I said, little bitty, like 20-year-old or something. Girl, you know, match for me. Oh, okay, you could be my grandchild. And anyway, she, you know, so I just turned around, you know, I was talking to Adam, like I said, and I turned back over there, and she was acting like she was going to say something mean to me and all that. And I just did my mom's curved hand again. Then I took my, I love doing this, my, what is it called? What is it called? Now I'm going to have one of those moments when I don't remember the name of what is it called? I put it right there so she couldn't see me, you know. And so I just dismissed her. That's what it means. You just dismiss the person, you know. Dismissed you. But seriously, the people who drive through these places, speed limit, there's a lot of kids around here, by the way. And speed limit says 30. There's the school zone right there. That's why it says resume. School's out for summer, of course. And but when it's in session, people still do it. They get to this part right where it says 30, and they turn that corner and they go like 60. Seriously. And there's a park there where kids go and play. What's wrong with people? You know, the people who do these kinds of things in the tailgating. Okay. But anyway, I think I do really need a vacation from it, from driving. okay, maybe not, but I'm gonna have to do it anyway, so I have to own it myself. So I say, you know, it's my choice, and it is. I just prefer not to go to jail, not to get ticketed, $200 fine, and possible imprisonment. No, I don't need to drive that bad, so I'm gonna make it, you know, the best I can and enjoy it, because I really probably do need a break. It has become so bad, the way people drive, and it's so irritating. I don't have any road rage or anything like that, but you know, Adam can drive, scare me the whole while. You know, I'll just brace myself really, and you try to chill. But I would also like to see stuff, because I do all the driving. I don't get to see all these things, you know, that are going on. Places are being built, things are changing. I mean, it's been years that I've been the one driving, so I don't get to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on, you know? Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.